Guys, so some of you have asked me if there's going to be a retake for the trig identities test that we did at the very beginning of the quarter. The answer is yes, and here it is, finally, at the very end of the quarter. Okay, so this is going to be the same format as the other two assessments that I posted, but this is a retake to that trig identities test. It was that short test. It was like the second half of a unit that we did the very beginning of the quarter. So we tested on verifying the identity and all of that stuff in the final, in the semester one final. And then we had a few things that we needed to cover at the beginning of second semester. So this was that first short test that we had. So this is a retake for that. Full retake. You can get full points by doing this retake. So here it goes. Yeah, so same format as the other two tests. Send me a video, explanation, all of that. Make sure you're communicating everything that you did, and all of that. So here are the questions. This is two questions, and they each have two parts. So here we go. Question 1. Daily temperature. I'm going to change that sentence. Okay. So the daily temperature can vary from 90 degrees Fahrenheit to 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and the average daily temperature first occurs at 10 a.m. So that's the situation. That's the setup. Part 1, write a function that models this situation. Part 2, at what time or times would the temperature be 80 degrees Fahrenheit? And then you can just round that to the nearest hour or hours, right? So rounded to the nearest hour, what time or times would the temperature be 80 degrees Fahrenheit? So make an equation, and then what time would it be 80 degrees? The second question says, whitefish populations are currently 500 in a lake. So a particular lake has 500 whitefish. The population naturally oscillates above and below by 25 each year. Okay. If humans overfish, it's a badly worded sentence. Sorry, I copy and pasted this from the book, but this is a badly worded sentence. So I'm gonna fix this. Humans overfish, taking 4% of the population every year. First thing I want you to do is write an equation modeling the situation again. So writing an equation. Second thing is, how many years will it take for in how many years will the lake first have fewer than 200 whitefish? So when is the first time that you have fewer than 200 whitefish? And use your calculator to solve that. That's not something that you're going to be able to solve by hand, so use a calculator for that. Okay, so 2 questions, 2 parts per question. If you do it, you can get up to 100% on that test. So, you know, if you don't have an A on that test and you have time, it might be worth it. If you did poorly on that test, like C or below, maybe you want to take the time to redo it. I mean, you can look at how your scores are going on other things and take that into account. Remember that tests are worth 80% of your quarter grade. But that also take into account that you currently have 2 tests that you're working on that you're going to get grades for, and those are going to be worth probably more than this one. So with all of that in mind, figure out whether or not you want to do this retake. Yeah, so it's up to you. I'm not requiring it, but for some of you that didn't do so well on this test, it might be a good idea to do this retake. Yeah. Make sure you have this to me by the 23rd. I can't take anything later than the 23rd. So I'm not putting a due date on this because it's optional, but I can't take anything later than the 23rd. So make sure you get it done by then if you want to raise your score on that test. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you guys later.